Hello there, everybody, and welcome back to episode 13 of the Savage Land Season 4, featuring Caverns, the Fortress by the Sea. Today, well, there's a lot of things on my mind. For one, last episode we finally have discovered the Tier 1 caverns, or Layer 1 caverns, at a whopping elevation of -99. Given the fact that our surface level is at -1, this is the deepest layer of cavern that I've ever seen in my time with Dwarf Fortress. So that's one thing for the record book to begin with. So I want to continue today with the expansion of the surface area of Koganaros because I really feel like we really should get our thing going here. We're being attacked here quite regularly, therefore I think it is extremely important that we get those outside fortifications down as fast as possible so that the attackers will be always forced to play here on our rules on our turf. I even think about walling off the inner area of the yard here so that the enemy has to flow maybe through a gauntlet of nasty things before you can actually enter the real fortress. Well, we'll see about that. Until then, we have a lot of things to do. For one, I want to go for a sense of, well, call it disposal of enemies that are trapped inside cages. That's, I think, the best way to put it. We're also going to put the cages in here. And I forgot what cage... Well, let's see if we're storing the caged enemies here as well. Totally forgot where caged enemies were located at. Is it furniture? I'd be very surprised if this would be the case. Traps? Trap components? No, that's a totally different thing. Well, we'll see about that. Yeah, they also put the filled cages in there. Beautiful. So once that place here has a chain, we're going to get rid of the enemies that haunt our cages by just, well, using them as a training lesson for our friends here. Okay, so we got to bring up a guild for the mining dwarves. I also want to start decorating things today in this episode, so we have quite a lot of little things on our mind here today. So statues are supposedly landing here as well. So this is my decoration stockpile, so I'm starting to grab items from this stockpile here. So we're going to configure one specialty workshop here. So this one will only take objects from here and from here, from nowhere else. I want to make sure that we're going to have some grade A decoration stuff going on here. And then we're going to configure a work order here. So encrust finished goods with cut gems. We're going to go for a few specifics. I want to have this whenever something improvable is happening, and I want this only to happen if we have more than 50 cut gems available. I don't want this job to be forever hanging out here. And most importantly, I'm sorry, I don't want it forever draining my gemstone stockpiles. The most important thing here is to check if it's being restarted. Yes, it is. Okay, so this here is now bound to only this workshop. So only this specific workshop follows these specific rules, so it's not going to be happening on any other workshop. It's a pretty nifty little system that I really fall back to quite often if I want to improve the value of single furniture pieces. You can do that with whatever furniture you want to use there. It's a pretty cool thing. So we are going to go for the mining guild on over here. trim it back to symmetry. And maybe give it a little bit of a nice shape here. Okay. So, statues are being made. Oh yeah, and it's about time that we're also starting to automate the gold production. Smelt native gold ore. So here we do the same thing. We're only doing this if our gold bar supply is below a certain amount, and only if we have enough refined coal. I always keep a stockpile of coal left that we can use for more pressing matters this way. So, it's happening now, friends. If you want to put this here to the extreme, then you start bringing up only a specific, very, very talented dwarf for that task. So the quality of the decorations is increasing even still. I'm rarely doing this kind of power gaming because it's not really necessary with this game, in my humble opinion. So, yeah, and this one is going to take no more general work orders. Because I don't want this shop to be bothered with gem cutting. As you see here currently, a other dude is blocking the workshop for the task that I actually have in mind here. Okay, let's move on over to this place and floor it. So, what do we have currently loaded? Salt? Yes, good. So this place has some seriously nice walls. I really like that one. I keep the petition open now as a reminder that I still have to do this. So, the Mining Guild. Alright. And all these items that we're crafting now will get us somewhere. So, let's see. Why is that being cancelled? Improvable finished goods in the stockpile. So... but there are improvable things in here. Or do we not have enough gemstones prepared? That could be the other thing here. I wish I could see how many gemstones I got in this menu here, but... So let's try that by reducing the number down to 10 and see if that does anything. So why are these items not good enough for you? Don't quite understand what the issue here is. That shouldn't be happening. So if we stop it like that, and we just issue the task like that, what's happening then? It's been happening. It's happening just as intended. Okay, so... why is this stockpile not computing here? Because I really don't want a granite mug to be decorated here with gemstone. That certainly doesn't... cut the deal for me. Yeah, now they did decorate the mug with gemstone. Okay. Oh yeah, now I see my mistake. Finished goods. I need to pick up furniture. Yeah, my bad. So... If you ever run into a similar problem, now you know what what might be the issue there. Right. Good. Good thing that I found out what the issue was. Now it should be working on out just as intended. Of course, they cannot encrust any finished goods if we have only furniture there. Yours is doing everything okay. Yes, yes. Okay, so these new gold statues, they will increase, they will have a insane value after a while. I think it'll be easy to just get the value of this place up by slapping a couple of these gold statues in there. Look, they're partying. They're hating the life, but they're partying. Jeez, this is a huge tavern by now. All right. I love it. So let's remove the planner, because I always think this gets the best results. So, well, I'm gonna wait for a hot minute until the business here has completed. And I think from now on, we're going to be hunting gemstones more than ever. I mean, we do have now this place is insane. We have so much room for prospecting here. I haven't dreamt of this in my keenest dreams, so to say. We got lots of stone. Everywhere we want to mine, there's so much to pick up. So we really don't need to worry about that. A forgotten beast has come to haunt us. So this is, by the way, why you are keeping your caverns sealed until you can handle things. This is pretty... I think this is a pretty nasty fella. So, enormous parrot with lidless eyes, large mandibles, emaciated, peach feathers, long and sparse, noxious secretions. So this is actually one of the less troublesome of his kind, but, you know, it still is something that you would need to worry about if you had an opening in there. That's why I keep these things under lid. What's happening here? Look at this. I had no more planters. I just realized that none of these farms have been built. All the crops are standing in full bloom. There had to be something wrong. Yeah, you see, it's always good to be on your guard. The task of an overseer for a dwarven fortress is never easy. I love how this game does try to take you down with lots of little nasty tasks and things that you can slip up on, basically. There's a lot of banana peels. Okay, so we're going to accept the petition, and let's see. That should do the trick. Of course, the fellas will get some doors as well. Alright. Beautiful. Look at these gold stockpiles. It seems like my cistern is slowly and finally filling. Yay! I really had my doubts that I probably have built this thing on a horrible spot and it'll never come to shape ever. So I want to go a tad bit deeper here. So we're going to expand the city today a little bit more active. Don't worry, I'll be not digging out home compartments during this during the episode, but I want to showcase that we're getting more expansion into this direction here. I'm gonna be digging some horizontal lines here. That's where we're gonna put the apartments through. I'm just starting to dig that out now, out of the simple reason that we can get ourselves some new rock salt going into our possession. And as you see here, there are still a lot of territory to claim. Beautiful. So So let's see, none of the altars have been decorated yet, but on the other hand, this place is working non-stop, so this is good for us. This is really, really good for us. So let's see. The guild hall has been established now. It's not a grand guild hall yet, but you know, that ain't necessary either. So we're going to engrave the walls. You know, we got to get some training into our people here. Speaking about training, I think I should get my engraver trained with a couple of unimportant departments. So, speaking about unimportant departments, there's one important department which was not good enough. So we are going to finally pimp up the mayor's abode with a couple of golden statues. The mayor is unhappy, so the mayor will have a statue of Miss Stem, local hero. And we need to relocate the coffer because it's just the spot where I want to have the other statue to pimp up the value of this place. Statues are one of the few furniture items that actually block movement, so you got to be careful about that. Yeah, let's put a statue of a hamster into the dining room of the mayor. Surely. I could also have spread out the weapon racks here through the apartment. This room has way more prestige than it needs, but I feel like, you know, the mayor's office should be prestigious. That's just my personal opinion. And as you see here now, yep, one golden statue just does the trick. And another baby. Guildhall people are happy, and with so many new dwarves on the fortress, I feel inclined to increase the amount of fighters again by 2. I like to do this whenever I notice that the number of people is increasing. I think I would have already more than enough personnel here to get all 10 people going, but you know, it doesn't make that much of a huge difference if you have now 10 or 8 good trained fighters. Most of the sieges that will come our way will still be quite easily beatable, but it won't be forever like that. That's one thing we gotta be aware of. Raids are always getting bigger. Although the pressure of raids and whatnot in this game is rather mild. Admittedly. So that means we can totally go crazy wherever we want to, because I have now learned that the next 60 layers or so are massively solid, because that's where the first layer of Caverns begins. And that means, yeah, there's really nothing that would bother us here, except for a couple of ocean tiles here and there. That's quite a thing, eh? Personally find it quite surprising, because I expected with this map quite the opposite, so yeah, it's a nice surprise. With the only downside that we now have to go for a lot of mining work to actually find something. But, you know, first world problems. Okay, so checking out all this, I do notice that we pretty much made it. That means we're going to go now for a couple of more exciting things. So first off, we work with the planner. I want the Gabbro. Whoa, look at that. We got 350 blocks available right now. It really shows that our fortress now has way more busy dwarves than ever. Okay. So first off, we're going to put the floor down here. There's a tree in the way that we need to get rid of. Same goes for these. We're doing some classy surface ceiling here. And now, a bit more floor before we get started with the walls. So, this is a really huge task. I love it. Truly inspires me to go for even more prestigious projects in the future. Because it's really fun to go for the really larger things. So I want to keep this thing here open, kind of like a yard, like in a yard. So we're going to construct ourselves a ramp. Might be helpful later down the road. And we're going to construct now walls. So are we still on the right material? It's really fun to see how all the rock salt that we had a couple of minutes before is now gone. It's no longer existent. Okay, I really don't know if we will be able to get this job done like I'm ordering it. Pausing here for a second. Very hesitant around that corner to slap down the jobs because I know that trees can be quite the deadly bunch. Especially if you have twigs reaching over to this area here. So we're going to continue here. So we need more wall here. So yeah, that's a good draft. And that's going to take us a really, really long time until we have all the gabbro ready for that. But you know, it only looks like a big task after all. Oh no, the baby alpaca's starving. Have I forgot you again, huh? I'm very, very sorry. Oh yeah, I installed the chain. So with the chain, you can put people like this nice young gentleman up to a new and final meetup with the local law enforcement. It's pretty quick over, as you see, but well, it's also a way of emptying these cages, you know. We're going to go for an automated system later, or well, semi-automated. I'll still have to empty the cages manually, but I'm going to construct something that will take the care of the prisoners more autonomously. You know, what will the goblin do if you ditch him into the ocean? Stuff like that, but... Alright, so goblin number 2 has lost his limbs and his life, just like we have expected. So I'll keep the raven in the box for now, because these are actually quite exciting specimen to catch. I love this. This is so cool. We're really getting somewhere here. Oh, that's the remains of the Cyclops. Look, Cyclops, we're building a fortress on your bones. Looking not so mighty anymore, aren't you? I had to do this. Very important. So, the last thing that we're missing now is to floor this section. And now things get a little bit more delicate here. I want to have this area here floored as well. It's a little bit bothersome because you will not really see that we're covering 2 different layers here. But, well, since I know it's there, it's gonna work out. Oh, the mountain home friends have arrived. All right, let's greet them. Obviously, we don't need that much food anymore, but, you know, maybe they get it. They got me some other things like fabric or whatnot. So we're going to... Oh, yeah, I remember I ordered metals the last time. So let's see what they brought me this time. Technically, we could also export stuff like art or anything comparable. Practically, it's a little bit dangerous because the caravans currently only carry like 1 or 2 items of these, and that's that. Because these have only a very limited carrying capacity. As you see here, allowed weight, check on out how this number changes when we buy all the bars from them. And that was not really much metal they carried. Later, when we're a barony, when our influence has grown, we will also receive larger caravans, but that's still up ahead of us. Until then, we're buying all your food. Maybe not the cheese. Cheese is overpriced, and I already bought overpriced cheese once. We're going to pay our respects to the mountain home, donating a ever bigger amount of gemstone to our friends back at home. There we go. I'm pretty sure that I'm overfulfilling my food stockpiles massively at this point, but it doesn't really matter. Rather have too much of it than not enough. My personal opinion, that's all. Good. So, we have a lot of fields available there. Gonna plant them out as soon as I know what. Besides one more year-round plantation of pigtails. I can already foresee that we require these. So, well, I almost got the feeling as if I should be relocating my work here. We should probably consider getting all the gabbro upstairs and process it up here, simply because it's so much easier than what we were doing before. So we have another Fey mood, a dwarven child. Well, all right. So, talking about a barony. So yeah, of course we're going to take that. I mean, would we be to not take that? So I will go forward and assign my manager to this because he's the OG expedition leader, and I really think this is exactly the place where I want to have this fine gentleman, because he deserves. You know, he just deserves, if you ask me. Now, we could order some instruments. Just realized that this would save me a lot of pain in terms of crafting that stuff. Come on, let's order some instruments. I really never did that, but it strikes me as a pretty good idea, actually, now that I think more closely about it. Because crafting instruments in this game is a pain. You really want to never do it again once you've understood how it works. You don't want to do it ever again. So, just my personal impression of that. Right, so my Baron. We got a Baron and we need to satisfy the Baron's needs. Oh, that's fun. So let's see, we got the mayor's quarters here. So I think the nobility of Coganaros should have their own level here. It just makes no sense that the noble people of Coganaros have to live on the same area than the other people there. I consider the Towers of Age as a very old-fashioned faction. So we need to load up our rock salt again. There we go. A Baron's quarters, though, we could fill it with much finer material than usual, but I'm not gonna. Just want to point that out as an idea. With the amount of available material, I would be easily capable of flooring an entire apartment with gold. It would be not even a big thing. Or if you don't want to go that massively prestigious, you could also just take an iron flooring, which also increases the value of the room insanely. Because metal, processed metal, is one of the more valuable things in the world of Dwarf Fortress, and yeah, you just notice it. If you want to pimp up the value of a place, it's way to go. Okay, so we still have a long way to go as well in terms of constructing things and smoothing out areas. And the kiddo has begun a mysterious construction. Okay. I almost forgot about him, and I wonder how it came to the stray cow bone. I think it must have been a leftover from the last time, and we are receiving a lot of bunnies lately. That is really good, because this means we got a steady source of bone, even if bunnies are really not that productive. You know, it's still better than nothing. So I'm just continuing until the artifact has been finished, and then it's time again to say goodbye for today. I really love the fact that we made it to the Barony level this episode. That's been a real big advance for us. And yeah, we really really looking forward to a future where things might be exactly developing as I wanted to. I just had to double check if this little guy had everything, because he's taken pretty long. But, you know, a magnetite scepter. Usually these things are just quite useless. It has an image of a Savannah Titan, though. Cool. Alright guys, thanks for watching. I am appreciating so much. And leave me your comments down below. Let me know what you have on your mind. And as usual, a thumbs up or a subscription would be very welcome. And check out also my secondary gameplay channel. Link is in the topmost comment. It's just waiting for subscriber 1000, and then I'll be doing more content there on a daily basis too. So, see you there, and have a good one.